Hey, my name is James Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's bad news for a lot of people waking up today with a budget hangover. The budget was one of the biggest tax rises for a lot of people, and various different industries have been hit very, very hard. You've got small businesses that have got national insurance hikes, minimum wage increases that they've now got to consider. But what I want to talk to you about right now is the fact that there are a lot of buy-to-let transactions that are teetering on the verge of collapse right now. You see, a lot of people were expecting landlords to get hit in the budget, but at no point did anyone have any idea at just how much stamp duty would rise and how quickly or immediately that might impact a lot of people. So in this video, I want to talk about why there are thousands of transactions that teeter on a knife edge and probably might not actually complete now, and what that means for the rest of the market. Now, if you're new around here and you haven't done already, do subscribe to the channel over there and hit the bell notification. We've got new content every single day. Look, from the budget, there is so much to dissect at the moment. I'm researching everything. I'm speaking to experts in the field. I've already spoken today to my solicitor and I've spoken to a couple of agents as well, just to see what's happening on the ground with this stuff. So also, while you're here, if you haven't done before, smash like, tick or like, do something to that like button. That really helps me with the YouTube algorithm, I'll be honest. And that gets more views on the channel. And let's just get more people aware of what's going on. So, stamp duty. I got it wrong yesterday in yesterday's video. Even though I pay enough stamp duty. But yeah, the surcharge, I said, went up from 2%. It actually was 3%. So let's just say you're in a banding on the stamp duty that is currently at 5%. If you were buying that as a buy-to-let property, that would have gone up to, from 5%, it would have gone up to 10%, which is a big jump. So the current the current surcharge was 3%. That has gone up now to 5%. Now that's quite a surprise. And also I think it's actually quite unfair, because if you've got a transaction going through, often you might be at that moment in time stretched financially. You might have got all the money over here to get your stamp duty, for your legals and all these other costs. Maybe you've got building work on the back end of completing the project that you need, and that's got to be funded as well. And what I think they should have done, a fairer thing, is to give some sort of grace period. Often when the government launch new schemes and stuff like this, they'll say, look, this is what's going to happen. You've got 2 months in order to complete your transactions prior, but they didn't. They put this up at midnight last night. So you got your budget in the morning, and then yesterday, solicitors, estate agents, it was carnage for a lot of these people. So I've spoken with my solicitor today because I've got a remortgage going through. I'm not actually, fortunately, doing any purchases at this moment in time. But I have got some remortgages that are going through that I'm looking to get some equity out. And I will be doing some more purchases regardless of what happens here. So I've spoken to the solicitor and they said it is absolute carnage at the moment. You've got people trying to complete on transactions. There's a lot of confusion at the moment. A lot of people feel that they've got till midnight tonight, the 31st, in order to exchange. But it was actually midnight yesterday. So if you are doing a transaction for a buy-to-let property, or maybe you're selling and the person buying is a buy-to-let investor, you've already missed the boat. It's too late. You will now be at the higher stamp duty level of 5%. And yesterday, that was what people were trying to do, was to get exchanged, get the deal exchanged. If you exchanged last night before midnight, then you would be on the lower stamp duty. And right now what's happening is a lot of negotiations. You see buyers, they're saying, well, look, the seller is going to have to reduce the price of the house, or I can't complete. That's one thing that's happening at the moment. You've also got the sellers saying, well, I'm not going to reduce the price. I'll just put it back on the market. There's more buyers in the market at the moment. So that's another consideration on this. And so there's also affordability. Some mortgage lenders might look at this and say, well, that has a difficult scenario on the affordability. That could be something that comes into consideration here as well. But in real terms, this is not particularly great. And thousands and thousands of transactions all around the country right now, I think probably might just fail. There's millions of transactions happening all the time, like going through legals and stuff like that at various different points. But this could make a big difference to a lot of deals, and they could just fall apart, and the purchasers could just walk away, reevaluate, and see if they can come back and get a better price on the property that they were looking to buy. What this is going to mean going forward is that less people are definitely going to be interested in buying new buy-to-let properties, because it's a huge tax, and up front it's a big consideration. You've got a 25% deposit and potentially as high as 10% tax up front on that property. That's like nearly 35% of that transaction cost. That's going to put people off. It's going to get bad publicity in the news. But I also think it's an opportunity. So what I also think is that less transactions will happen. I think this is going to cause a market slowdown, absolutely, for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. That's going to happen. And that is going to give some uncertainty in the market. And then there will be some deals. Like, I do think that this will shift house prices a little bit. And if you're looking to buy something, I think this potentially could shift some deals in your favour. And not immediately, not this week or next week, but in a month or two, once the dust settles, I think you could potentially find some cracking deals out there in the market. I'll still be investing, but ultimately what I think it will happen with all of this stuff is that the costs will just get passed on as rent. And so I predict, and I think that this is what everyone is saying, is that rents are going to skyrocket. You're going to get less new buy-to-let investors. You've got the old investors that are leaving the market still in droves, that are unhappy with the renters' rights bill and lots of other things as well in the market. And so the market for rental properties will keep shrinking. That will increase rents because it works on supply and demand. And ultimately, a lot of people will say, good, get rid of the landlords. What will replace these landlords is big corporates that will big huge tower blocks, maybe estates of houses as well. And they notoriously charge significantly more rent than a normal private landlord would do. They're not going to buy the single 1 and 2 units that landlords currently buy. And that will mean that rents will get even more expensive, and you'll be stuck with a corporate landlord that maybe won't have the empathy or look after you like a small landlord can, and is forced to by regulation, things like the renters' rights bill. So yeah, I think it's a turbulent few weeks for sure. But once these deals are either completed or not, people will reevaluate. They'll know the stamp duty costs going forward, and they'll buy accordingly to that. And so people will still be landlords, but I think less people will do that. What's also a little bit of a sucker punch is that Labour had the option to keep stamp duty lower. Right now, it's at a reduced rate. That expires in March. They've decided to let that expire. So stamp duty is going to increase for first-time buyers, for normal residential buyers, for everybody in April of 2025. They say they're reducing the stamp duty by charging more to the landlords, but they're not. Everyone is going to be paying significantly more stamp duty in April. So interesting to see your thoughts, questions and opinions on that. Do smash like, do share this video with people you know should watch it, and do check out all the other content on my channel, including this video right here.